kids, welcome to my channel, Happy Place to Grow. I'm Mrs. Davis, and it's not just beginning to look a lot like Christmas, it's almost Christmas. We are definitely in the final days, the countdown to the night of the Ho-Ho Man coming around is right around the corner. So of course, here at my channel, we've been doing all things Christmassy. We focused on the gingerbread man for a while. We did a few activities with Santa Claus, reading a special story, and recently we've been working on the character, the Grinch. I love this story, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And you can see that it was written by Dr. Seuss. Look at how the Grinch looked in the storybook. Now, we have lots of movies of recent that we've been able to enjoy, and you can see that the Grinch character has definitely evolved. They've really tweaked him up and given him some personality and even some color, because as I'm looking through the original Dr. Seuss story, in the illustrations, there are just very few colors, so they really gave the Grinch a facelift. I love the character of the Grinch because I love that even though you have issues, problems, things you need to work through, you can change, and that's definitely a joyful Christmas story. So let's just recap what happens in How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The main character, the Grinch, is not happy. He is not happy with his own self. He's disgruntled, angry, grumpy, and the thing he hates the most is Christmas. He hates the noise and the food. He hates everything. And not only does he dislike Christmas, but he doesn't want anyone to like it. So he devises a plan to steal it from his local neighbors, the Who's down in Whoville. He creates a plan and he does steal Christmas things. Lights, trees, presents, instruments. He even steals the food. He gets it all in one night. He's going back up to his Grinchy home, his lair, when all of a sudden, it's Christmas morning. He hears a sound. At first it's tiny, it's faint, and then it grows. He hears the Who's singing, and he realizes he didn't stop Christmas because Christmas doesn't come from a store or a box. It's not wrapped up, tied up with a bow. Christmas is a celebration of love, joy, togetherness, and you can't steal that from people. The Who's are still celebrating, and something changes in him. He knows that the celebration is real and not fake, and his heart grows 3 times bigger. He brings Christmas back. He celebrates the day with the Who's. He even cuts the roast beast and enjoys it. But then, you know how Christmas, the after of Christmas, I know I feel this way sometimes. After I've opened all my presents and my family has enjoyed their Christmas celebration and everybody goes back to their old normal lives the next day, it's kind of a letdown. You're kind of like, after about 3 days, you're like, wow, Christmas is over. So in today's activity, the Grinch has went back home after the big celebration. His heart is bigger and he does feel better, but he's feeling a little sad. You know, the day or two after Christmas, you kind of feel let down, and that's how he's feeling. So in today's activity, our goal is we're going to be making a list of ways that we can go visit the Grinch at his house. We've come to see him. He's feeling a little sad, so we want to make him happy. We want to make him grin. You know what a grin is, right? Yeah, it's a smile. And look in the word Grinch. The word grin is in the word Grinch. I'll hold this little one up closer. There's the word Grinch. If I cover up the CH, grin. Let's make him grin. Let's make him happy. So we're going to think of well, there's probably a lot of things we can do to make him feel better and not feel so sad after Christmas. Remember, he's never experienced Christmas, so he's always felt grumpy before, during, and after Christmas. So now he felt so happy. Let's make him smile. So what are some things that we can do? Let's think of our top 10 things. So let's think for a minute. What can we make if we were going to go visit the Grinch? What would we do to make him feel better? We're going to make a list of our top 10, and then we are going to select one, and we're going to complete this thought, and then illustrate to match. Now, when you're making a list, you're not writing sentences. You're just writing a few words to express what you might want to write about. So we don't need capitals, period, dots. We're just going to make a list. All right, let's think for a minute. What would be something we could do if we visited the Grinch to make him feel better? Oh, I've got one. Let's bring him how about some cookies? You know, if you're feeling kind of down and you eat a sweet treat, if your mom makes you some cookies or some brownies, you kind of feel warm inside. Let's bring him some homemade chocolate chip cookies. So on this board, I'm going to write cookies, and let me shift here so that my backside is not to you the whole time. I'm shifting here. Okay, cookies. Some kind of warm, delicious, baked good. I feel better when I have sweet treats. Okay, so cookies. Let's see what else. How about we go to his house and we make him some hot chocolate with marshmallows. Again, with the sweet treats. Hot chocolate, marshmallows. Gotta have the marshmallows. We're just brainstorming. We know when you're writing, before you write, if you kind of brainstorm your ideas, possibilities, and then of those possibilities, you make a selection, it makes writing a lot easier. So you're brainstorming, you're making a list of possibilities, and then you're selecting from that list. So this is a good way to narrow down and help make writing easier. Okay, so we've got hot chocolate and we've got cookies. Oh, I know what's kind of fun, and my family does this too. At Christmas time when my kids were little, we would always go to Florida, visit my mom, and we always liked to go to the movies because there was always a good Christmas movie, or there was always a good movie after Christmas to go see. And that was one that we had time off. So how about we take the Grinch to see a movie? So we're going to take him to the movies. Come on, go see a movie. Remember, I'm making my list. Oh, I've got a good idea. I like to do this. How about we take the Grinch to Whoville and take him shopping? How about a little shopping therapy? There's all those after Christmas sales. Let's take him shopping. I like that. Shopping. Yeah, let's get on some of those good deals. And since we're in Whoville, how about we take him to the park? What about that? Instead of shopping, we could take him to the park, and we're going to play on the playground equipment. That would be fun. Let's see what else. Oh, we could. Oh, yeah. How about we introduce him to some more friends, and we all get together for a play date with friends? That sounds good. I'm going to say with friends. You know, when you're with, I've run out of room for my ass, but you know it's friends. Maybe if I go down here. You know, when you're with other people, if you're feeling sad, lonely, and let down, and you get together with other people, it always makes things a lot better. Well, I know that Christmas is always filled with presents, but what if we brought the Grinch another present? What if we brought him a gift? I know when I've done this with my students in the past, they've said, let's bring him a present. This is a funny one that my students used to say, and you're going to laugh out there. How about we get the Grinch a girlfriend? Oh, my kids used to say that. A girlfriend. They thought that was funny. Maybe. Let's see. We've got 2 more. This is our list. Cookies, hot chocolate, movies, shopping, go to the park and play date with friends, get him a gift or a gift card so he can get what he wants. Girlfriend. Oh, I got one. How about, he's got Max, but what if we get him a different pet, maybe a cat? A pet to go along. So this would make even Max feel better. A pet. A new pet. Yeah. Oh, how about this? How about when we go visit the Grinch, I'm stuck between 2. I'm thinking about either read a story to him or with him or sing songs. Let's do music. You know, music is always good to cheer up people. So let's play some music and do a sing-along, like a karaoke. Yeah, that's fun. So we've got a list. Now, this is a list that I've created and I thought of, and maybe you thought of some other things too. So when we're doing part 2 of this activity, we're rethinking the Grinch. We're going to select, I'm going to shift back over here. We're going to select one of these things. And again, if you're at home doing this activity, which would be very fun to do, and your whole family can join in, they can all select one way they would make the Grinch grin. You could write this down and illustrate, or if you wanted to just talk it out as a family, what would you do? And why would you do that? Why would you select that? So now to complete this, I would say to make the Grinch grin, I would, and you don't have to rewrite, I would make the Grinch grin, but you could do that, or you could just continue that sentence with your handy dandy pencil machine. So I have to select now. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. Hot chocolate, hot cocoa. So to make the Grinch grin, I would, and I'm going to finish the sentence by saying, make. So I'm writing the word make, and I'm using my lowercase letters. I'm going to do a space, make him. When you're doing your writing and you're communicating to others, you want it to be neat. You want there to be space in between those words. Make him a cup. Your handwriting should be what we call legible and clear. You could do this on the computer. You could type this in, if you have like a Microsoft Word or Works, you could type this and print it. You don't even have to write it by hand. But if you're using your pencil, to make the Grinch grin, I would make him a cup of, I have space there. Of is one of those funny words. It sounds like UV, of, but there's the correct spelling. Now I've run out of space, so I'm going to go down here and continue from left to right. I would make him a cup of hot chocolate. I'm using all lowercase letters. If I didn't know how to spell something, I could ask Google. I could ask my mom or a friend. Hot chocolate. I'm going to add with marshmallows, because don't you just love a steamy cup of hot cocoa? But it's got to have those little marshmallows floating and melting. I've run out of space. I'm going to continue. And now this sentence is complete, so I'm going to add a stop mark, a period dot. I'm telling you, so I'm using a punctuation mark that is a telling. I'm not really saying it with a whole bunch of expressions, so I'm just going to use a period dot. And that makes my sentence complete. To make the Grinch grin, I always go back and reread, because sometimes when I'm writing, I'm going so quickly. I'm thinking, my brain is thinking faster than I can write. Sometimes I leave off a word, so I always like to double check. To make the Grinch grin, I would make him a cup of hot chocolate with marshmallows. And now I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to draw a cup. And I'm going to draw a cup of hot chocolate. I'm going to make a cylinder. So I'm going to start with a circle, because I'm going to make this sort of look three-dimensional. And then I'm going to bring a line down. I like to make my drawing skills with shapes and easy things that help me. It sort of looks like a can, doesn't it? And you can just draw right on the same page a mini. My kids love this activity because the focus was more on the writing instead of the illustration. That was part of it. And if I wanted to, I could draw the Grinch. I could draw myself if I wanted to add more details. And then in here, in the cup, I'm going to draw the mini marshmallows and the hot chocolate. I'm going to erase that, because my whole, you're going to see most of the hot chocolate. My little marshmallows are going to be kind of floating and melting. And then the last part of it would just be for me to color. I could need your crayons. Oops, didn't see that because I covered it. I'm just going to dump all my crayons out. Decide what color. It's got to be green, right? It's funny how over time the Grinch did change. And if I look back at this Grinch compared to the Grinch that I'm more familiar with now, I definitely like the newer version. But I love that they take inspiration from Dr. Seuss's main character. They didn't really change his personality is the same pretty much. He's grumpy, he's cranky. And I love in the movies sometimes too that they try to explain why he, in the newer versions especially, why he was so cranky. What happened to him? I know in that one version, one of the newest, it was that he didn't have anybody that loved him. Now I'm going to go up in here, and I'm going to use my brown, and I'm going to do like a light brown. And it's hard to get the marshmallowy look when you, but those floating marshmallows. And then I'm going to even do some gray steam coming up. And inside that cup, I would see a little edge of that cup. So the lip of the cup would be green around the brown. And then we'll do some steam, like it's just hot and steamy. I love this activity because, again, I'm thinking of a list to help my writing narrow down and become easier. I'm communicating, having fun, thinking about what we would do if we were going to make the Grinch grin. There's lots of possibilities. Here's something I didn't think. How about you could tickle him? We could just give him a little tickle. That would make him grin. There's so many ways that we can make someone smile and happy. You know, you're all going to be celebrating Christmas soon. Me too. And after Christmas, we'll be putting away the Christmas stories, our Christmas decorations. It might be a little bit sad. So maybe this activity could apply to you. If you're feeling sad on Christmas, after Christmas, then maybe you too could do some of these activities. Get together with friends, because if you're out of school, you might not see your friends. Get together with your friends, have play dates. See if your parents can take you to the park, or grandparents. Sing some songs. Turn on some happy music and sing and dance. If you can go shopping or go to the movies or read a good book, pull out some January books or any kind of book and do some reading. Do a puzzle. There's lots of fun activities that can make you happy and people around you happy. So I'm going to close up this activity. We're going to be definitely feeling happy and grinning on Christmas morning. I know I am, and I know you are too, and the Grinch will be too. And as always, keep on grinning and have a good one.